Hey, Jalen, Alex Bozich with Inside the Hall. Thanks for the time. Just curious, with Coach Marshall, what you've kind of learned so far working with him, and if there's anything specific that you want to try to accomplish this summer with conditioning and strength and all that.
Aside from him being a strength coach, he's just a great guy. Outside of being in the weight room, he does a great job of sending motivational messages. And as far as in the weight room, he does a great job with us on our body, making sure we're staying on top of our nutrition. So overall, it's been great for me. Through my time being here, I got here June 2nd. And when we started workouts, from then until now, I see a difference in my body. So it's been great.
Mike Schumann.
Yeah, hey Jalen, Mike Schumann with the Daily Hoosier. Based on what you know about how Coach Woodson wants to play this year, what do you think the chances or probability is that you play a lot alongside Xavier Johnson, and what do you think you have to do with your game to make sure that that happens?
I mean, the way he wants to play is kind of fits my game perfect. He wants to play fast, get the ball out. And, for me, playing alongside Xavier Johnson, that would be great. I think we both complement each other's games very well. Prior to coming to Indiana, I already had a relationship with Xavier, so we kind of already built that bond. So to get here now and to, practice with him and kind of get a feel for everybody, I think it's going to be great.
Jack Ankeny.
Jalen, Jack Ankeny with SI Indiana. I guess now that you've been practicing with the team for a few weeks now, what do you think the biggest learning curve or adjustment for your game will be transitioning from high school to college?
Well, for me, playing at the highest level of high school basketball, playing at Montverde Powerhouse, we're playing against some of the top guys in the country. So obviously, transitioning from high school to college is definitely a big difference. But for me, honestly, I already had like the body. I work on my game all the time. So really just, some of the small things, just some of the terminology and everything. But I'm pretty much good. Just learning every day, learning from the older guys, watching film, and, pretty much that's it.
Dustin.
Jalen, to keep going on what you said about Montverde, I mean, obviously when you were there, your first year, you obviously had some guys ahead of you. You were coming off the bench. You've played next to a lead guard. I mean, you had to play a whole bunch of different roles there. What was the value of that for your game, and how much do you think it helped specifically with the possibility of having to play next to X, backup X, being a guy that's going to have to play probably point and two as well? How do you think all of the experiences that you had at Montverde are going to prepare you for that?
Yeah, I mean, that situation at Montverde my junior year, that was different from, the situation now. But for sure, that year at Montverde my junior year, it was definitely a different year for me. For, like you said, coming off the bench a little bit and not getting as much minutes as I would like was different. But I think, it was good because, sometimes you might be put in situations like that. So, I think that prepared me for, whenever, if I ever have to come across that in the future.
Peegs.
Hey, Jalen, you're our foremost authority on Malik. You played with him the last year and so forth. And how is he adjusting, and what will he bring to Indiana?
Malik's a really good person and a great player. He works really hard, and that was my high school teammate, obviously. So I know his game really well. So like I said, he works really hard, and from being up here in Indiana, I know the coach is going to get him right, and I know he's going to be locked in, and he's going to have a big year.
Tom Brew.
Hey, Jaden. Tom Brew, Sports Illustrated Indiana. So here we are at late June. Between now and early November, when the season starts, what are the 2 or 3 things you really want to try to work on hardest with your game in regards to trying to get everything as fine-tuned as well as you can by November?
Well, everything really. I'm still young, so I feel like every part of my game has to get better. But for me, just keeping on my body, keep being a leader, being vocal. At the college level, you have to be vocal, especially at the point guard position. Just pretty much keep doing what I'm doing, getting better at everything, keep shooting the ball, everything really.
Kevin Brockway.
Yeah, Jalen, hey, I'm just curious about your relationship with Xavier. You mentioned that earlier. Can you expound on that, how you knew him? And then also, what's it been like practicing against older guys?
I'm from Pittsburgh, and, he played at Pitt. So, me and him had kind of already built a relationship. I started to talk to him through like Instagram, and I even played pickup with him a little bit when I was in Pittsburgh a couple times. So just building that relationship was pretty good. So, for me coming here, me and him just continue that relationship and, getting here, playing against, these older guys. I mean, I've been playing against older guys all my life. So, it's definitely, good. And, it's been great learning from everybody, getting out there with the guys.
I think this is Zach.
Yeah, Jalen, somebody asked you about Malik, but I'm just curious. Your other two classmates, now that you've gotten a little time with them, I imagine you'd maybe watch some of them, maybe even gotten to play in open gyms with them at different times. But now that you've spent some quality time around CJ and Caleb, I imagine gotten a little bit of run with them, obviously spent time in the weight room with them. What are your impressions of those guys as well?
Before coming to Indiana, I watched a lot of film on them guys, but sometimes film can be a little different from seeing them in person. So from seeing them in person and being around them, they're pretty good. CJ's a great player. Caleb's a great player. They still got work to do, like all of us, but they're going to be good. I think they're going to be good for us this year, and just got to keep grinding.
Tyler Tackman.
Hey, Jalen, Tyler Tashman with Inside the Hall. I hope you're doing well. I guess as far as what you've been able to do on the court, have you guys been working mostly on offensive stuff, defensive stuff? What are kind of the first steps that you guys have been taking this summer? And what's the biggest thing that you've learned from Mike Woodson so far?
Yeah, mix it everything, defense and offense, but really getting up and down. Coach Woodson's big on, live, actions, because then, that's how you get better. So we do a lot of scrimmaging, and, some of the biggest things I learned is just, he just want these guys to play hard. He's big on defense, which, that's, a big part of my game. So, I think this year is going to be a really good year for sure.
Kevin Vera.
Hey, Jalen, hope you're doing good. Wanted to ask you about, you just got on campus with that freshman class. So how have the older guys and Coach Woodson kind of coached you and welcomed you to Bloomington?
It's been great. Obviously, we're the new guys. So, the coaches are tough on us and they push us. But, it's like tough love. Outside of the basketball court, they're loving. We have great relationships with us, with each other. But, whenever we're on the court, they're real tough on us. Make sure we're on top of our game because, Coach Woodson always says for us, we have to speed up the process. So it's been good.
Alex Bozich.
Jalen, I'm just curious from a basketball perspective, what do you feel like you need to improve on the most this summer? Anything specific? And what do you feel the biggest adjustment's going to be next season when you actually start playing games?
Like I said before, I'm still young, so I have to get better at everything. I'm nowhere near as good as I can be. So just keep working on everything. I think the next, thing I really have to showcase is probably my 3-ball, which I'm in the gym every day working on it. So, this year I think, people will get to see, a lot of my game, how much, better I done got since the high school season and how much more expanded, my game's got. So I think it's going to be good.
Mike Schumann.
Yeah, Jalen, I've seen a lot of national people say that you're one of, if not the best defenders in your class, especially on the ball. Tell us why that part of the game is so important to you.
I'm just very competitive, and, I would hate for somebody to ever say they got the best of me. So just growing up, I always played against, older competition, played against my older cousins. And, when I was younger, they used to bully me. So I always took it to heart. So as I, growed up, I just always wanted to, be the best defender and make sure no one ever got the best of me.
Rick Bozich.
Yeah, Jalen, we've heard you described as a point guard. Do you consider yourself a point guard, a 2-guard, or just a guard? And for those of us who've never seen you play, is there somebody out there that you think your game, you style it upon or it's similar to? Yeah,
I'm definitely a true point guard, but at the end of the day, I'm a basketball player. I'm versatile. I can, play wherever the coach need me to play. But, I'm definitely a point guard. I love getting my teammates involved, love leading. And, as far as players, I look at old school players. I like looking at Jason Kidd's highlights, Kobe, and then current day, I like looking at Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Luka.
Dustin.
Jalen, kind of keeping on that track, how did you become a better point guard at Montverde? What are some things about the position that you came to understand playing at that level and with those guys and with that caliber of competition and also teammates? How did you get to be a better player and make your game as a point guard better there?
I would just say the everyday grind, just the practices. Every day you're going against, the 5-star guys in high school. So it's just good. The coaches did a good job of pushing us, and I think overall, it gave me a big leap to where, I am now, and it's definitely helped me now that I'm in college.
Tom Brew.
Jalen, how much did you watch Indiana basketball last year and Coach Woodson's first year? And I know there's going to be a lot of additions to that this year, but how much did you watch and in relationship to fitting in yourself? How much are you looking forward to being a part of that system, both offensively and defensively?
I mean, I watched everything. I'm big on film. I like to see. Last year, I like to, see how they play, how Coach Woodson coaches and everything, just to see where I could fit in. And I still watch the games now just to make sure I'm on top of everything, just looking at, some of the defensive schemes, looking at the offense. And, now that I'm here, it's great because I get to actually break down film with like the coaches and everything. So it's been good.
Jack Ankeny.
Jalen, when Malik decommitted from Florida, I guess, what was your recruiting pitch for him to come join you at Indiana?
So I was with him actually when he decommitted. So as soon as that happened, I literally texted my coaches. I was like, we have to get on Malik. So, as soon as I said that, the coaches got on him, and, they did a great job of recruiting him.
Tyler.
Jalen, you had mentioned when you were younger playing against guys that were bigger than you and kind of getting pushed around. Are there any memories that you have, I guess, whether it's playing pickup or anything like that, that kind of sticks out to you that kind of helps shape your toughness?
It was literally just every day playing in my grandma's backyard, my grandma and granddad's backyard, going against my other cousins, Sharon and DeAndre. They just pushed me every day. And I was always the young kid, and, all their older friends, my big bros, they would be up there and they would always bully me. But it got to a point where, I got good and I was able to compete with them. So it just helped me, and it really bred me into who I am now.
How old were you when you kind of finally were able to beat them?
I would say 12, I was able to compete with them. And then once I hit probably 8th, 9th grade, I was like, winning some games a little bit. But now it's like, I don't lose no more.
Okay, 2 more questions. Kevin Vera.
I know we kind of touched up on this a little bit earlier, but being at Montverde and kind of one of the most prestigious and well-renowned programs in the country, how has that kind of helped you now to transition? And how do you think that's going to help you transition into your freshman year?
Like you said, it's a prestigious program. Coach Kevin Boyle and Coach Ray Miller have been in it for 30 plus years. So they have the track record. If you look at the players they have, they have NBA All-Stars and, things of that nature. But like I said, like the everyday grind at Montverde, people don't really know us, but, put into it. Like the practices, it's almost like a college practice. You practice in 3+ hours every day. So it really prepared me, for now. I'm in college, now going through college, it's almost like I'm at Montverde, but just, at a college level. So it's been great. And, I'm thankful for Montverde.
Okay, last question, Mike Pegram.
Hey, Jalen, you've been in college for the first time here this month. What are your favorite things about the city of Bloomington and IU campus?
Everything really, just the, the love and support from everybody. And really just, for me, my favorite thing is just being in the gym, just grinding, working on my game and being around the fellas and the coaches.
Okay, thanks.
All right, folks. Thank you very much, Jalen. Thank you.